if you don't know, usually after a test or a beta, Embark usually likes to do statistics or the numbers about what arcs was the deadliest, the guns that was used the most, and they're here. And the funny thing is, this might actually be the last. This probably will be the last one. They might do it for seasons after this, but I doubt it. This might actually be the last statistic spreadsheet we see, or whatever you want to call it. It's actually cool to see that they still keeping to it, and it's kind of like, you know, full circle. We're back, because after Tech Test 2, I was surprised to see it, and seeing it again here, it lets us know that Embark ain't playing. So we're gonna get into this, we're gonna talk about it, and if you like what you see here, leave a like, comment, subscribe. We got a whole bunch of other stuff to go over too, a couple concept arts, the future of Arc Raiders. I heard we might have 10 years of Arc. So that sounds insane. We're gonna speak about a recorder. I guess you could find a recorder and play music, or a flute. I didn't know about that. I'm now discovering that. There's just so many things about this game that you can discover over time. This game has infinite possibilities, and I think the devs even speak about that, on how this game, there's multiple ways this game can go. It shouldn't just be what it is now. It can evolve. And when I hear that, I'm thinking of animations, anime, movies, short films, more different spin-offs with video games, merch. It's endless. The possibilities with Arc Raiders is endless, and I'm actually glad to see the devs are starting to talk and be more out there with it, because the release is right around the corner. Alright, so I try to angle it the best way I can so my camera isn't covering it, but here's what I'm talking about: the statistics of the Server Slam, the Server Slam numbers, Arc Raiders Server Slam in numbers. They do this shit every time. It's fun to go over, and it's kind of insane the shit you read. I love how they got this one going. This one looks beautiful. The last one was cool, but this one might be even better, more stylized, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain. I don't know if it's the character in the middle, and I kind of don't really remember the last one, but this one is fire. But let's start on this side. Rounds played. We have 30 million rounds played. Bro, 30 million. You know what's so funny? I don't know what numbers I was expecting. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like and that's how you know so much people is just in the game playing, because I feel like I haven't really heard much people speaking on the tech test. Of course on Reddit, but I'm saying like naturally just seeing, unless it's on YouTube, and I follow a lot of Arc Raiders content. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you felt the server, the tech test too. You felt the Battlefield 6 beta, but this beta was kind of, you know, it was like felt under the radar kind of. But 30 million rounds played is crazy, bro. Insane. That's actually insane. For 3 days? Probably not too crazy, because we did have 3 days, but that's still pretty decent. The deadliest arc. Bro, this should be no fucking surprise. And that makes sense, because the Rocketeer is out here. The Rocketeer is wildin'. And this time around, it was bugging out. Like, you could not escape the Rocketeer at all. That's big homie. And the amount of players knocked down by the Rocketeer is 2.3 million. Bro, what the fuck? I did not expect these numbers. I expected a lot of us to be getting dropped by the Rocketeer, but 2.3 million? That's crazy. I'm telling you, Rocketeer is the realest arc out there. Like, the Queen is out there just for show compared to the Rocketeer. The Rocketeer is out here, dog. The Rocketeer is killing shit. Yeah, the Rocketeer is out here really bodying shit. What the fuck? And then this is what caught me off guard, and it was kind of funny to me. Over 96,000 recorders found. I didn't even know there was fucking flutes in the game. I had to look up gameplay. I didn't know this shit, bro.
Look at my flute.
What up, flute?
I'm trying to crack players.
So, you know, this game has so many different things going on that you will miss out. You will miss out on it if you're not looking in the right places. Because for 3 days, and this probably was in tech test too. I'm not sure, but I never known there was a fucking flute in the game, a recorder. And then look at this shit. So we got 2,000. Look at this shit. We got 2,669 raiders knocked down while playing the recorder. What the fuck y'all doing out there? Y'all was having fun. Y'all was enjoying yourselves. Yeah. Y'all was actually playing the game. Y'all was actually doing y'all thing and enjoying what y'all had. Because look at this. 2,000 players got knocked down while playing the recorder. I can't lie, I expected the numbers to be higher, but I bet the reason why the numbers are kind of low is because no one really found that bitch. Well, no, I'm wrong. 96,000 people found the recorder. Only 2,000, you know what I'm saying, got knocked out playing it. So most players probably didn't even know you can play the recorder in the wastelands. This side over here really caught me off guard. Because if you don't know, the last tech test, the most crafted weapon was the Rattler. Or was it the most used? I don't remember. But this time around, it's the fucking Pharaoh. And I gotta admit, that's all I was really using. That was like a must-have in my arsenal, the Pharaoh. But to see that it actually is real. This is the most crafted gun. If you don't know, the Pharaoh is a single shot sniper. It's fucking annoying having to reload mid-fight, but if you know what you're doing with it, it might not be a problem. Because if you know how to hit your shots, and two, if you're not too close up and you shoot from a distance first, reload and push in, you won't really have to worry about it, because now you know the Raider's hurt and you got the bullet reloaded. But the Pharaoh is a beast for an early great. I think it's a great weapon. You can upgrade it, make it faster reload and everything. But to see it's the most crafted, it's surprising, but not so much. Because you know why I say it's not really surprising? This was like the only gun you can really use. We didn't really have that much weapons. I think Tech Test 2 had way more weapons available than this one, for sure. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. So seeing that the Pharaoh was the most used, it did the most damage, easiest to use against arcs to knock them out the sky, I can see why people use this one a lot. 77 Queen's eliminations? Damn, the Queen is fucking selling. What the fuck? Only 77 people got knocked by the Queen? You know what it probably is too? A lot of motherfuckers was pussy. Not to say it like that, but a lot of them was probably too shook to push the Queen. You know what I'm saying? What's the point of pushing if you have no equipment? And she fake. You can dodge a lot of her attacks if you know what you're doing. Yeah, you could dodge a lot of her attacks. And if there's not much arc around her, yeah, 77. Damn, we didn't hit 100. Like the Rocketeer hit 2.3 million. You only hit 77 Queen. The numbers had to be higher in the last one. For sure. If not, that's crazy. But that means she ain't putting in work. Oh shit. I'm talking out my ass. That's only eliminations. Okay, because you're not even supposed to be getting eliminated by the Queen, because arcs can't eliminate you when you're down. So that means she either stomped on you, her flames caught you when she used her laser, and it just, you caught on flames. She not really intended to finish you, and you just got finished. But then this is where the number spikes. Raiders knocked down by the Queen. Okay, this makes more sense. It isn't as crazy as the Rocketeer, but this makes more sense. 100,000. Shit, 100,000 players knocked by the Queen. That's pretty decent. She's slow. She doesn't do that much attacks, and she stays in her one area. She doesn't have that much line of sight on you unless you go down to where she's at. That's pretty decent. And the total arcs destroyed, boys. We put in work. We surpassed the Rocketeer. We taking out way more of them than they taking out of us. Pretty decent. We got 58 million arcs down. Fellas, y'all deserve a round of applause. Players knocked down by lightning. You see, lightning is a bitch. And I have a theory that they actually made lightning realistic, since we have so much metal on our character, like the straps that hold our book bag or whatever keeps our gun up and shit. not the straps, but the little bars hanging off. You see how she got like these bars on her book bag to keep her like book bag stabilized and shit. The metal on her guns, the metal that's connecting the shield to your equipment, like it's attracted to the metal on your character. I swear, when I'm standing still, that's when lightning locks on the most. And seeing 26,000 players knocked by lightning, I'm not even surprised. I'm impressed, because the lightning, that shit is a killer. That shit is damn near as bad as Rocketeer, just not as bad because it doesn't follow on track as badly, and you could more look out for it. But that shit, and I learned, listen to this, I think I found the main weapon against the Ark, Mother Nature. Lightning deals with arcs beautifully. You're gonna, when you on the during the magnetic storm, lightning will tear arcs a new one. And then 800,000 rubber ducks collected. I ain't collected one. I don't think I collected one. I probably ran into like one or two, but I didn't even pick that shit up. It's valuable. I don't know if they made it more valuable or less, but in the Protect Test tool, it's valuable. But I didn't really run into duckies like that, and I didn't really grab any. But it's cool to see motherfuckers were still collecting their rubber duckies. The stats is in. It's pretty dope to see that. Rounds played, yeah, it's 30 million. That's good. We did good, fellas. We did good. We actually went crazy. I kind of do wish they told us the amount of players that entered the tech test. I do want to see those numbers. I do, but I doubt it's low. And yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm not stressing numbers. I just do want to see. I'm interested in things like that. But these stats seem good. I got to compare these to the stats from the last game. But it seems good.
Raiders, looks like you really held your own up there. Speranza has been bustling with bold tales of your topside adventures. Some of them might even be true. Reports of Ark activity in the area have decreased significantly, so take it easy for a while. Get some rest, stretch your legs, maybe take Scrappy for a walk. Just don't wander too far. Topside never stays peaceful for long.
Now I wanted to go over some concept art. They've been dropping a lot recently, and I haven't really touched on most of them. I know y'all probably seen all of them, and I don't want to go over all of them. What I really want to go over is the character design and probably future cosmetics, because one thing I will give this game is that they stick to their art style, they stick to their times, their setting, and what they added to it makes it way more impressive. Like, you can tell a lot of this is probably from the 70s, 80s, but then they add the little bit of tech they probably scavenged off of the arcs, and it's pretty dope to see this shit. And I love to see that the concept art remained the same throughout the years. I feel like a lot of games, when they make any type of concept art, it changes from what the main game might look, or it might not fit the main game so well that when you actually see it in game, the concept art looks way better. But in this game, they nailed it to the T, and I'm not even surprised. If you don't know, these guys worked on previous Battlefields and the Battlefront games. I went through their ArtStation accounts, and it's crazy the amount of work they put in throughout the years, and here's no exception. And what I wanted to go over is that how well they blend the era of the 80s, 70s together, you know what I'm saying? The early 70s, late 70s to the 80s. They blended so well together with the color schemes, the people that was trying to get more out of the suits. They showed a real rebelliousness with the type of clothing, the coloring, the way people will probably try to present themselves to look different, and each character looks different, unique, but also fits the gritty and realistic art style that the game is going for. I love how everything looks makeshift. Everything looks like they just put it together, thrown together, and it works. It fits. It keeps them a little protected from the elements outside. It takes a little bit of damage, incoming damage, and if it works, it works. They can't complain. They can't, oh, I want something better than this, a better, more fitted helmet. If the helmet's too big, they still got to work with what they got. And the art style here is beautiful with the character design. I have to say it. One thing I always loved is the use of the full dome helmets. You know, it feels like the characters, they think about what they put on before they leave the house. I enjoy this green trench coat. I always love trench coats, cloaks, or any type of scarf that covers the body or face, because it shows that in this world, identity is everything, and keeping that identity secret is important, because you never know the type of person that's out in this wasteland. So what if she needs to conceal a weapon that she don't want you to see? And I feel like bigger trench coats always represents that well. And it's the elements. You always got to be prepared for the elements. She could be in a cold location that requires a jacket like this. And I love the use of the pilot jacket here. And I love that you can tell most of these guys, they probably found old military locales, and they probably took most of the equipment they found there, probably old jackets, pilot helmets, and they just put it together and made an outfit. Some of these outfits look like they was used for scuba diving, or as I said, being a pilot or astronaut. And it's just unique. And then you see the tech going down her fingers here. I love that. I love that imagery, because it also shows that these guys are tech savvy. I always think about the new generation, how connected they are to the future, and they're connected to technology in ways we can never be. And that's the life they live. They have to be accustomed to tech so well that it's damn near imprinted on them. It's all in their gloves, their vests, their guns. Everything has a piece of equipment that seems alien. This image right here is perfect. The reason why I say it's perfect is because everything here works. The utility sash over his shoulder, showing the multiple type of canisters that he probably have to use to reload or gather equipment quickly. The poncho that he uses to keep himself safe from the elements. The multiple holsters. The helmet. I just love the different type of helmets they have in this game, and how technical they seem. Like as if in an instant the face, there's like a mask that can flip down and protect his face. I think there actually is one if you look close. And it looks so, and it also, I love that how it blends the old with the new. How his pants, boots look older, but then when you look at his helmet, his goggles, his this thing going over his stomach, it looks like it's old and new, like some Star Wars or Alien. You know, the movie Alien, how they blend the old with the new so well. And I always love fits when, post-apocalyptic, they got this the big tall cowboy hat that protects their face, their identity. You know, they like a lone wanderer. This is definitely a lone wanderer. He shoots first, asks questions later. Yeah, I fucks with him. And I just love the detail on his character. Like, look like he just taped the ammo casing to his leg. Maybe he didn't. Maybe I'm looking at that wrong. But it definitely doesn't look, it was made for that purpose. And he made it that purpose. It looks old. And then this little, what is this little canister metal thing on his what is this little metal thing on his leg? What could that be for? That's fine. Now this might be one of the best suits in the whole game, and it's actually in the game, I think. Now this suit might be actually in the game, but changed around. But yeah, this suit, you can see the evolution of this suit, where they wanted to be more armored, and with more slimming going down, allowing the character to be more flexible with his legs, but be more protected by his shoulders and his head. He's definitely a guy that wants to protect his face, protect his head, and it shows. And if you could change the colors like we can in game, make it probably a brown and black, darker colors, that would be fire. Now you see, this is a good image that embodies Arc Raiders, where it's kind of like Cyberpunk style, but not too much over substance, if that makes sense. Where it looks good, but it actually also, it works very well for what she needs to get done. We got the little back piece right here, keeping her tech hung in. We also got this little clip on that keeps all her tech, her little book bag clipped together without it also being too over cumbersome, hanging everything and allowing it to sway while moving. And I love the helmet. I love when they do the helmet plus the goggles plus the mask that covers the whole face, because you got to remember, identity is important out here. You may be doing deeds that will be remembered when you're in the top side, when you do go back to Esperanza, and keeping your identity on the down low might be important. So seeing her here, mask covered up, it looks good. The suit looks good. One thing I would say is the bright all white. To be in the wasteland, moving in a moving target like this, I feel like she might be seen easier, but it blends so well. And then you can see the little dirt, but it looks like it will get more dirty and cringy by the bottom half that deals with the dirt when she's kneeling and stuff. See, and I think she got a little old CD player back here. I think that's an old CD player. This image is fire too. I like it. Now this might be one of the best ones I've seen so far, and we was actually able to unlock this book bag just a little differently. You had the green lights, but this is what I mean about the concept art being so well made that it translates well in game. And this might be one of the best. The reason why I say that is because it mixes everything I love about post-apocalyptic survival. The utility of the clothing while looking fashionable. I love how he has the little old blue racer baseball helmet mixed with a few tech that might be connected to a receiver to let him get radio intel in, because it looks like he also has something in this. This looks like some type of receiver that he has connected to this whole device. I love the poncho, allowing him to stay protected by the elements while also being tactical with the color choices given, with the inside reflective orange. You know what I'm saying? So when he moves around, you can see him more easier probably to be identified by his teammates. And the color coordination with the blue, orange, brown, it's perfect. This is a good image. I have no complaints about this one. He actually looks rough and tough, gritty. He looks like he's been through the ringer. He looks like he lives a shitty life, but he makes the best out of it. And I love those are some of the best characters. And even though he doesn't speak, he doesn't have no animations, he's not even in game, this character design rings true and speaks 1,000 words for sure. Okay, she's trying to come for the heavyweight title. This art style kind of remind me, is it Mobius? Let me look it up real quick. This dude, whoever made the Arc Raiders concept art, he had to be studying Mobius when he made these. That has to be one of the artists he was really inspired by while making these concept arts, because it gives that vibe a lot. I love the contrast of the colors. I love that even though most games they try to use the darker colors to make it seem more tactful, they love to use the little streaks of bright orange, bright blues to actually make the stitching pop and make the sections of each different, like from the shoulder to the arms, actually stand out, from the vest to the inner shirt stand out. This is actually a good artwork. I love the helmet. I love the little glass over visor over her face, allowing her to see more easier, more clear. I wouldn't even be surprised if this helmet has some type of interface that she can actually see while wearing the helmet. I love the gun on her back, how it's well designed. That's one thing I'll have to give him praise for. The gun designs in this game actually fits the world, as if they're just using whatever they can just to craft it. And I love how she has a little book bag on the back to show that she might have to make a pitch stop anywhere. What if one night she can't make it back to Esperanza? So yeah, these are real survivors when you look at it. This dude is definitely a style over substance type of guy. The way he carries himself, it looks like this is an old army coat as well. That might actually be an old army coat he kept or found and he put a part of the design. Maybe some type of general higher up. He's making the best of the situation. I can't tell if it's a female character because I see the braids, but they're definitely making the best of the situation. I love the design. I love this little radio or device hanging from his chest. I love these receivers they have hanging off their back, because you gotta remember, getting intel might not be easy in the wasteland, so keeping devices like this to send back, like makeshift telephones to send back information, would be perfect. Yeah, I love the little visor that goes over his face. That's peak cyberpunk right there. The only thing we're missing is cybernetic limbs. But yeah, this is definitely another good design for the game. It actually fits. The only thing I'll probably see that they wanted to strip back from this design is probably the amount of things hanging off the character. If they probably just have that one antenna and shorten it, that'll probably work. I would want all this here. I would want it personally. And they also have options to remove certain things off the character. But I probably also see the design, like the coloring on the cape, they might reduce that and probably darken the yellow on the vest. I mean on the cape. But other than that, I can see this being an outfit. that someone wears. I want anything with cloaks. Give me more cloaks, capes. Give me it. And we got the final one here. Now this one, whoever this is, seen some shit. Seen some shit. Every time it's whoever who wears this mask, they look the most prettiest in their trailers and the gameplay that they show. This is fire. I hope they give a version of this helmet character with this cape. I think they removed the cape. This might be the character I thought was the red and blue character. The helmet looked the same. And what it might be is that, because you gotta remember there's companies, corporations in this game. It might just be made by the same corporation. Or it's just the same design choice. And they just swap bodies. That makes sense too. They probably just took the helmet and put on the other body instead of it fit there better. But this outfit is goated. We got the little gun sack on our back that keeps our weapons hosted perfectly, and you got the tech, the receivers, that hooks up probably to his gun. It looks like the wiring actually connects to his gun, gets charged from the devices. Because you got to remember, these guys don't have regular weapons and they don't have regular power sources. So what that means, they have to make makeshift power sources and sometimes bring that power source with them. And they're lucky if the power source is actually this small. So to get a power source this small that could actually charge your weapon, that would be ideal in this type of scenario. The shoes, I love how the shoes are designed. I love these little shin guards. I love the gloves. I always love the utility shown in the designs. The ammo pouch right here being held up by the harness around him. It looks like this was an old tool holder and he just turned it into his personal, whatever weapon kit. So it looked like he got little screws and stuff there that help him repair the weapon on the go. Wouldn't be surprised if this weapon is breaking down all the time as he uses it. But yeah, this is the concept art of Arc Raiders, and it's kind of cool to see how much made it into the game, how much was changed and how much wasn't changed. This is definitely a cool looking character.